Ladies and gentlemen, hi, and welcome back to Disco Elysium. You might notice something a little bit different, or at least I hope you notice something a little different as we begin this game, is that I've got a new microphone. Fingers crossed, it doesn't sound like total backside. I've been editing and fiddling around with the settings for a good few hours last night, and so hopefully it actually works with the current settings that we have on the go. Anyway, our current adventure is that we've talked to the Hardy Boys, and they've said that Ruby, the lady that we're looking for, is somewhere in this general vicinity, or maybe somewhere around these parts. Our mission is to talk to this lady and see what she knows.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Have you seen a red-haired woman named Ruby around the coast?
Nay, I haven't seen anyone lately.
Okay, but do you know who I'm talking about?
This is my little cinder block town. I know what goes on around here.
She's being evasive. She knows something.
There was a murder in Martinez. She might be a suspect. We would appreciate your help.
Would you now? I know how this world works, and it doesn't work when people tell on each other.
This isn't about the Union, you know. You don't have to worry about any retaliation.
Ah, I should have known. This is yet another Union mess. I'm not afraid of them, you know. We are not in the habit of being afraid around here.
I see, you know something, but you've decided not to tell us.
There's not much to tell. People come and go. Now, was there something else?
I mean, it'd be useful if you could tell us if she came and then went.
I see, ma'am. I hope you don't mind if we look around anyway.
You should look around your shack. Maybe she's rented it out to others too.
Alright then, let's have a look at the Love Shack. Also bearing in mind that today we are going to find our gun as well, which is hopefully going to be quite useful. Right, press the tab. There's a plank down there. Hello, plank. How are you doing?
As you look at the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear one of them isn't quite level with the others. The edge of a floorboard next to it looks scratched.
Move the board aside.
Hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and sawdust below.
What's in here?
Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. There might be something hidden inside the sand, though. Something bad. Someone's night thoughts. A last resort. A bad idea.
Search for the sand and sawdust.
You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. And then something hard wrapped in paper.
What is it?
A small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet.
A bullet. Interesting.
The floorboard doesn't care. But maybe the washerwoman does. You have enough to confront her with.
Well, that's a bit sad. Saying that was something bad, someone's night's thought's last resort, a bad idea. With a bullet, that's We can imply what that means, don't we, without me having to say the word that will probably have YouTube's ire thrown towards me.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Why was there a bullet under the floorboards of your shack?
Damn that girl.
She murmurs softly.
A bullet?
Lieutenant turns to you and gives you a little nod, then turns to the washerwoman.
You didn't put it there, did you? She did.
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either.
You rented the room to her?
Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl.
She speaks slowly, wringing out a rag after a long silence. Her hands moved into the water bucket. Some water sloshes over the edge.
As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear. We welcome all kinds of people here.
When was this?
She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself into, that girl?
That's for the police to find out. Right then, please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
You said she left on Monday?
Yes, early with the dogs, around 8 o'clock, I think.
She probably heard the lieutenant's Kanema drive by, and it woke her up. just like it did you.
Kim, you must have heard your Kamina.
Yes. That is a downside of having a 130 kilowatt engine. It lets the bad guys know when you are coming.
Is the room exactly as she left it?
I cleaned it, like I always do.
Was there anything else there?
No,
The truth, sire.
What is she like, Ruby?
she's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation. So I really appreciate that about her.
Did she talk to you much during her last stay?
No, she was mostly silent this time. Kept to herself.
What do you mean?
She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room.
And why do you think she left the bullet there?
How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun.
She looks back toward her shack, thinking.
You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure. See if she thinks Ruby fits the bill.
I have a possible explanation in my mind.
Aye. Do tell.
It's an exit plan.
Exit from what?
The world.
The lieutenant stops writing for a moment. He looks at you, then at the old woman.
No, she's a fighter.
She really believes that.
I heard she was a heavy drinker with anger issues. You ever witnessed that kind of behavior?
Nothing of the sort. Sure, she was no stranger to the bottle. She fit in that way. But I only knew her to have a beer on the beach while watching the sunset.
The sun sets for everyone.
She isn't what you call a drunk. Even offered me some from time to time. Said it was part of the communal life. But I never saw her lose control of herself, the way some people do.
Well, you never usually... I don't know if this is the same for most people, but generally when you're talking to your grandmother or an older person, you kind of want to show them your best sides, don't you? You don't swear in front of them. You take your hat off when you enter, you take your shoes off, you do all that usual gubbins, but they never usually see you when you're surrounded by other young people, in the dark and when all the bad stuff's happening. Did she have any technical equipment with her, like radio stuff?
Not that I know of, though she was into nice music. She once showed me a few mixtape milieu she'd made.
Brushes her forehead with the back of her hand. Water drips to the ground.
Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff. Even fixed the heater in the shack. You should be thankful for that.
And where did she go?
I don't know. Further up the coast. She tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north.
It's a peninsula. She might be trapped.
You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived.
I wouldn't worry about that, ma'am. We are persistent.
Further up the coast we go then.
Are you sure you would rather stay here? Get a nice cozy fire going in the heater? Seems like a better idea to me.
The failed electric mural. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time.
Oh, the electric mural.
One thing, officer. If you do find her, please go easy on her.
She looks around, the air is getting colder.
She really means it. It's an honest plea.
She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten herself mixed up in.
Well, I mean, good people can be good and bad at the same time. I mean, what was it? Hitler liked dogs? You know, it's terrible man, but, I mean, he looked after animals, so, like, just because you're a good person does not mean that you are incapable of murder. Really bad analogy, I understand. Probably the worst analogy I could possibly use in that situation. But, here we go. Ruby left the village, explored the coast for signs. Now, they mentioned the electrical building, which is where we were talking to that very smiley chap and his son. So let's have a look. Any big shinies?
You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D.
Step closer.
Above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also fall, and the coastal breeze rustling and sighing in the remains of the edifice. Feld Electrical. How ironic. All these dark rooms. There's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first.
Could Ruby be in here?
In there? She could. Or she could be in the identical room over there, or in that boat shack. In that church tower, maybe.
Why single out this one building?
Ooh, listen to the wind.
Suddenly, all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead. No rustle in the reeds. The wind has died down, or gone behind a corner. You only hear distant waves washing the coast.
So I don't know if that came across, but I bumped the microphone, and I'm used to the microphone being on my right-hand side, and now it's on the left-hand side, and I'm lost all spatial awareness. She could be anywhere. How do we find her?
How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. Okay. She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. We've already talked to the cryptozoologists. Working with them might give us a good excuse to run around, give us some structure. And then there's the church. We've already searched that and can rule it out. I know it doesn't feel like progress, but exclusion is a step too. Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first, like we did in the village.
And if that fails? If we don't find her?
Then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that.
He looks behind him at the dark red box crumbling across the chasm.
Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again. Look where it already got you.
Okay, well, how many skill points do we have spare? We've got 2. Well, our shivers is a maximum of 3. And with 1, if we had 3%, and obviously 2 would then be 6, and etc, etc. So, I say, let's do what Kim said. And, I mean, we need to talk to the cryptozoologists anyway, as they... Well, we talked to the cryptozoologist's wife, and we need to tell him stuff anyway. And we also need to collect our gun, which is in an hour and a half. We don't want to commit to anything too serious.
Hello. What can I do for you, officer?
I'm looking for a suspect. Have you seen a woman with red hair who seemed to be on the run?
I'm afraid not, officer. I've been busy digging around in the reeds for days, looking for signs of insect activity. I'm less interested in mammalian concerns, to be perfectly honest.
The lieutenant takes a short note in his notebook, then gestures for you to proceed.
Leda seems pretty eager for you to return.
And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
He looks south, where Lena would be.
Come on, Morel. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let Lena down.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
Won't let Lena down. Sounds like the cryptozoologist's wife shares a special connection to the Phasmid somehow.
Come on, you're doing this for yourself, not her.
I'm doing this for science, and so is she.
I didn't know the Phasmid was so important to Lena.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's hers.
Really? She sighted the Phasmid?
Yes. That's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine.
He coughs, then continues.
Needless to say, you must ask her about the mysterious Phasmid.
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian Phasmid together. I can't abandon course now.
Another cough, into his fist this time. Maybe we should come back to the whirling, warm up, come back to check the traps later.
No. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the Phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel?
He's dead set on this. I could go for some trap setting.
What if we check the traps for you?
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
Chaos is my method, I'm at Scion. No. Let's go with... We're looking for someone hiding on this very coast. Looking for another thing may lead us to her.
Why not? At least it will give us the excuse to look into a lot of reeds.
That it will. That it absolutely will. I hope you brought your good boots.
Where are these traps?
There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near. Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them...
He gestures to the trap in front of him.
You should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
What do I do if there's a Phasmid in one of the traps?
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight.
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll claim the find, but he's lying about this even to himself.
And what if I encounter the Phasmid in the wild?
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed. It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week.
Alright then, lay it on me.
Wise choice.
He douses you with the odd smelling spray and then gives you a satisfied nod.
I hope you're not buying this. He dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research.
He looks at the lieutenant with disdain, then puts the spray back in his pocket. Alright, I'm ready. Let's get to it.
Right. Which means you two can pack up and go back to the whirling.
Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clear that these men are exhausted and in need of assistance.
Finally, someone's talking sense.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone once you get to it.
If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you'll have time for that later too. But what if the information is vital? On the hunt?
Nah, we probably won't find anything. To be honest, I doubt that there's actually a Phasmid. I'm not a conspiracy man. Right, so... I've completely forgot all the directions that they were meant to be. So, northeast of the Feld building. Just there where... We've got to check one of the ones first. Near the boathouses, west. Never eat shredded wheat, so we've got to go west. And check the trap near the canal you crossed, southeast of the village. Okay. So, never eat shredded... So, west. How far west can we go? Well, that was quite an excursion. Case solved. Unless he means... I think we saw one when we did a little bit of a mooch around this general area. Oh, there we go. Look at that.
There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Morel set before. Same mesh, same wiring.
Reach for the trap.
Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them.
Big surprise. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go.
Say nothing, just put the trap down.
You set the apparatus back on the ground, among the reeds.
Bearing in mind that this is Kim's idea. Kim wanted to do this for research purposes. Look around.
Behind you, the ruins of a residential building loom over the reeds. They whisper amongst themselves, confidentially. Snowflakes cling to their shivering stems.
Okay. And there's nothing else fancy going on around here, is there? Not seeing any potential red-haired ladies going about murdering people. Okay, let's check the one that they've just laid.
This is the trap Morel just set. Checking it over, he said, is just a technicality. But
Reach for the trap.
this trap is also full of panicked locusts. No sign of any cryptozoological beast inside.
Another empty trap.
Okay. How are you enjoying the cardio, Lieutenant? I'm quite enjoying it myself.
Always up for a good jog. Otherwise, would I still be on this case with you?
He smiles and raises his collar. It's windy. Look around.
The reeds by the abandoned campsite sway and tremble, while the snow falls all around.
A leave. I mean, like, yeah, it's... Oh, there's a can. Hello, can. Money in it. Nice. Although, do we need that much money now? Now that we've got free accommodation. Okay, so we've got 2 down, 2 to go. The other one was north, I want to say. Lands northeast of the Feld building. That was near the church, if I do remember correctly. But yeah, we're not really finding out all that much interesting stuff here, but at least the lady in the wheelchair has her husband back. He did seem to have a cough, which I imagine that when you get to that age, spending too much time outside in the snow, probably not the healthiest thing for you. There's the unopenable door, which we will get to one day. The game says you can't open that door, but I just don't believe it. I can't believe it. I refuse to believe it.
This trap's not too hard to spot, once you know what to look for. Keeping it hidden has not been a priority for the cryptozoologist.
Reach for the trap.
Nothing but locusts in this trap as well. Definitely no cryptozoological monstrosity.
Empty as all of them. One more of these and we are done.
His face is red from the cold sea air. He crouches to catch his breath. Are you getting tired?
No, I'm fine. I didn't mean to complain, it's just...
He's short-winded. The sentence ends there. Look around.
The reeds shake sadly in the coastal breeze. Snow specks the stalks. Most of it melts quickly, relinquishing form to darkness.
Alright, while we're here, if I just want to have a quick look on the northmost side, just to double check.
Is there something here that would indicate a sniper used this place as a nest for taking the shot? Just some urban detritus, a bottle, and a dilapidated old comms tower.
I don't see it, Lieutenant W. Freighter. I don't see a person take a shot here and hit something there. In the whirling in rags.
Maybe the campfire was used by the perpetrator.
To warm his hands before pulling the trigger? Perhaps. But anyone could have made this. The coast is specked with fires this time of year.
He looks around.
Truthfully, this seems like a very poor choice to take a 1.2 kilometer rifle shot from. Visibility is awful. There's water vapor everywhere. I think we can rule out... Biddable Prime, was it?
Maybe the assailant climbed the comms tower and took the shot there.
It's not possible to climb that ladder. And even if it were, why? There's no platform up there to aim from.
I look over the water to the whirling in rags.
There, 1.2 kilometers over the cold water of the bay, through a thick snowstorm melting flake by flake in the waves, you see the smallest rectangle, barely visible. The light is off on the 3rd floor of the whirling in rags. The young woman is gone, in precinct 57. Safe, closed off. Her form no longer moves behind the glass there.
Well, hopefully she's still safe. Unless, of course, those government people decided to make her not safe. Well, look at that. 2 birds, 1 stone. Although, why was it that when we went there earlier, they didn't seem to care... Or we didn't get that thought bubble? Tricksy. Okay, so 1 more basket to look at. We can then tell the cryptozoologist that there's sod all in his baskets. And... yeah. It's all kicking off, boys and girls, at home. It's quite a long walk, though, to go to the next one. So you'll be happy to know that I've got the... If you are interested in the Warhammer stuff, I've got a Orc Commando set, and I also have got a Space Marine Primaris set. I know not everyone's a fan of Space Marine Primaris, but I'm painting all the... Well, I'm currently in the middle of painting all the Space Marines. Isn't that different chapters? Like Ultramarines, Imperial Fists, all that stuff. Because I'm going for like a Dominus Crusade vibe, where like all the different chapters came together and through the power of friendship fought back chaos. Now, where are you? There you are. Last one.
It takes you a moment, but finally you spot the last of Morel's traps. This one's partially obscured by the reeds.
Reach for the trap.
The trap feels light and silent as you pick it up. Something is different here.
Ooh, look closer.
No locus. No phasmid either. But still.
It's empty.
Your voice echoes on the coast, carried by a gust of cold wind.
Look closer still.
Well, the bait worked on something. This doesn't mean it was a reed monster, though. Unless you see one in there. I just see an empty trap.
You're probably right. There wasn't the phasmid, but still, Morel needs to know.
We did, sort of, promise to tell them, didn't we?
He seems to regret the fact. Look around.
The reeds bend forlornly toward the sand. Snow covers the broken stalks like a shroud, and they shimmer, ghostly, in the darkness. In the east, the city center hums to you.
Leave. Oh, I've got thought bubble as well. Ahead, decades of old concrete defences. Children now playing them. Okay, so let's go for a long walk and tell Morel all about the situation. But yeah, I'm in regards to the painting of the Warhammer, I am a little bit behind in schedule. If you watch the 4K sub special the other day, I have got some surgery impending. In fact, actually, the reason why I've got to cut this episode a little bit shorter than I would normally is because I'm about to go for a scan for it. And I'm going to be awake for the surgery, believe it or not. Like, that's exciting, isn't it? I'll be having doctors inside me in a purely paternal way, and I'll be purely cognizant for it. Anyway, here we are, Morel. How are you doing?
It's great to see you again, officer. My wife can't wait to thank you. Go on, talk to her.
Oh, well, screw you then, Morel.
Thank you so much for helping us out with our research, sweetie. I hope all of this hasn't been too much of a distraction for you.
I'm just doing my job, ma'am.
Here, I want to give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie. Mesk in origin. The pin is an antique. Quite special.
But, I mean, it's not... Does it talk?
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape of an avian skull with 8 eyes.
I wouldn't normally sit around talking to a woman, but we do have some time to kill, so let's go for this. You never told me you've seen the phasmid.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
I don't, but what else are we going to do?
Ramblings? Nonsense. Your description of the phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard.
But darling, I didn't even get the size of it right.
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what you were able to describe. Now go on. Tell our friend about it. He's proven his interest in the field.
I've not proven my interest in anything.
Reflexively, the lieutenant read his familiar notebook.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden...
Wait, how old were you when this happened?
I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5.5 in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there.
And what happened?
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it. I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm, and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds.
Did you follow it?
I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there, knee-deep in mud, looking around me.
Where did you go? Don't go.
Then what?
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story, and it's the most detailed report of the Insulindian phasmid I've ever heard. The sounds. She told me it hissed.
It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of wind.
The way it moved, the colour, how some of its limbs were white, like marble. It matched perfectly with what I know from other accounts. It was amazing. If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my profession.
He looks at her with admiration, forgetting a wide smile on his face. I can't be bothered with this conversation. We're going to find a book to read instead. Thank you for sharing this with me.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
And she could get up and walk right into the reeds on her own. Into the mud. Anywhere.
Fan-effing-tastic. Fingers crossed that the bookshop is still open. Because, Lord of mercy on my mortal soul, that was not an interesting conversation to have. Go and be open, I dare you. I double dare you. Oh my goodness! We're gonna have to make conversation with people. Surely there's other things we can do. Look for Ruby on the curse, solve the egghead puzzle, help sooner for projects. I mean, we do have some skills to level up. Had something to do with concept. Was it visual calculus or something? Anyway, I would rather do that than anything else. So I will catch you on the flippity flip side. All right then, you rapscallions and scallywags. We are back. Now, what skill was it I needed?
What is it?
It was perception, hearing. Which is not our biggest skill, but we do have potential. Do our usual. There was boots, wasn't there? Listening boots. Oh, where were you? Boots. Perception boots. I can see more and hear more. Sunglasses need to come off. Anything else that these sunglasses give us? No. Okay. And anything else here? -1 perception. We need to take our hat off, apparently. Anything else? Crazy, although I suppose that the hat goes around the ears. That makes sense. And there's nothing, absolutely nothing else. So I want to save as much of these level up points as humanly possible. Because for the life of me, I can't remember what else we might need these rechecks for.
What is it?
Go on then. Perception, hearing. Put on the headphones.
Still nothing.
Bugger.
So
Okay. Got one more point left. Perception, we could do it. We perceive.
Yes, what is it?
still nothing.
Frick. Well, fine then. We didn't want to listen to it anyway. We are grown-ups and we can do what we want. Apart from enter bookshops and hear sound. Put the hat back on. We perceive nothing now. Alright, okay, well, fine then. Fine. What else can we do? What other things have we got on offer? What checks do we have that we could do? White checks are available to try now. Pillar of Eternity. What were you? What are you? What's your task? I've got the cargo container door. That's 1,000,000 miles away there. Pile of a ternite. I don't know what that is. What are you? What is a ternite? Okay, let's... Well, sod it. There's nothing else to do. Let's go to the cargo container door. The chances are small, but my heart is big, and so is my will to enter that cargo door. Actually, I just noticed that as we were coming down towards the cargo door, the capitalism lady is here, so we're gonna talk to her and see what she's up to. Hello, lady. How are you doing?
I'll just keep the Corda Lacey in the channel, if that's okay. It's too shallow near the pier.
She winds the mooring line around the post.
Hi, ma'am. And it's a jetty, by the way. Of course. Jetty. I prefer a good jetty to a pier any day. Jetty?
Something about the way she says it makes you want to sing.
Jetty.
Oh, jetty, oh, jetty.
She responds mournfully.
It's good to see you here, detectives. I only just arrived myself.
What brings you here, madame?
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to investigate it personally. This cluster of buildings isn't on any of the official maps, as far as I can tell.
Jetty is a good word to say, isn't it? Jetty spaghetti. I like it.
That. And she's also keeping an eye on you.
Have you been spying on us?
Spying has such a negative connotation. I did track your progress along the coast, however, and decided I would be better able to assist you from here. Then there's the matter of that little scamp in old lady clothes. She threatened to paint the cordelate red. Like blood, you see. Well, I like it the way it is. White.
What is this? Destruction of property? Hooliganism? Elder abuse?
Sounds like the Cindy the Skull, all right. Want me to book her?
No need. Lillian and I are getting on much better. For one, she appreciates the concept of rent.
So how do you like it here? Look around.
How do I like it?
She casts her gaze towards the village, slush melting on the cinder block construction's work left half finished 10 years ago.
Water drips down eaves of eternite. The jetty below her feet creaks to the tune. The smell of salt and dog shit in the background.
It's pornographically poor. The street has no name, all the men are dead or missing. And is that the carcass of a motor carriage over there?
We don't talk about the carcass of the motor carriage over there. She squints her eyes.
I'm surprised that woman hasn't put me to the sword yet. Maybe she will. You should ask your questions while you can.
Dark eyes survey the coast leading up to Martinez. Dull grey metal rests in her scabbard. A sword. The wind is too loud for her to hear.
Fortunately for you, madame, the RCM is on the scene.
All right. Politics time. Let's react. Real men. Real politics. Real thoughts in your head.
We are definitely real thoughts. We've identified ourselves as the most boring cop possible. You are in no danger. Whisper. Working class have no idea what's happening to them. Brilliant. We will go for that. Let's go for... Try not to be scared. This is just how the real city looks.
Oh, I'm not frightened, officer. I'd never...
She leans against the railing, looking up at the grey sky.
Do you know how they discovered this place?
The wind picks up, her raincoat flaps in the gust. This island?
No, they're in Celindian, Isola.
What is an insula, exactly?
I'm guessing you don't know then.
No, I don't know how they discovered it.
Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50 years of occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty.
45% is around where I operate. Things are getting better there.
I knew you would sympathize. Most Revacholians will never know what this place means. Our home. This island of matter. Or why they were ferried over in the first place. Remind me to tell you one day. For now, how can I assist you in this new location?
Tell me now, we have time. Let's have a history lesson.
Do we?
He glances at his watch. It doesn't look like he does.
I hear you have singled out a suspect and are in pursuit. This is cause for cautious optimism. I would not want to delay you.
This story she will tell only before she leaves Martinez, at the very end of her stay.
Oh, you tease.
Maybe there is something else I can assist you with while you're hot in pursuit.
Ah, well, I found my badge, by the way.
I love you did.
As she inspects the piece of blue plastic, her eyes scanning from left to right.
Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Frater Dubois. I am glad to see a man of high qualification. The situation is precarious. What can I help you with, Lieutenant Frater?
Nothing, apparently. Well, fine then, woman of capitalism. You've killed 15 minutes for us. There was a potential to ask this woman for a date, so let's ask her nicely.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer?
Kim's presence makes it awkward. Suggestion? How suggestion can't be that bad, surely. Where is our suggestion? Ah, it's free. No, it's not great, is it? We've got bonus from items there. The total of 7. Got no... Oh, we could have checked all the things from here. That would have helped. Well, what about... Surely we can look a bit sexier. Surely we can be a bit more enticing. Ooh, a blue naval coat. Very suggestive. Any glasses that can help us with this? Doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like it at all. No. No, we've just got this blue... It's the only sexy thing we have is a blue jacket. Well, that's fine. We'll roll with it, baby. Come on, then.
The sea's gonna calm down
Come on,
soon.
sugar.
I can feel it.
She needs to go on a date with another drunk badly.
What's on your mind, officer?
Oh yes, she does. You need to get your drink on. There is no other way for human beings to procreate. Not after 6,000 years of yeast cultivation-based mating rituals.
Well, sugar, these are all terrible. I like you, but I'm afraid to be around you because you're a woman.
Okay. Where's this going?
I need to be drunk. You do too. Please get drunk with me on a drunk date.
Absurdly and pointedly phrased. You can be quite funny, officer. Anyway, what did you want?
She doesn't even understand you asked her out. Perhaps you're too sober to pull it off right now. Try again later.
Well, we can't be drunk for this. We're keen off the old alcohol, or alcohol, as we sometimes refer it to as. I'm looking for someone else, actually.
Oh? Who?
I'm looking for a suspect who might have stayed in this neighbourhood.
Okay. When did this person stay here?
Very recently, over the past few days. She might have arrived on Friday.
Oh. I've been out on the sea for most of the past week. The weather's been good for fishing, so I usually start at 4 in the morning.
Really?
Yes, that's the optimal time. Got to make the most of the calm. I've been sleeping like a corpse after. The sea really takes its toll. Now I'm just waiting for the wind to settle to get out there again. Sorry I couldn't help you out. Maybe I can help you find someone else.
No, you
Well,
can't.
how can I assist you then, officer?
What if we just... Do we still have the... Oh, right, Spicinia. Do we still have the book? Where are you? I could just forward skip and just go over the book again and again to make the time pass. I might do that. Where are we meant to be at 10 o'clock? In the old fish market. Right, I'll go near the fish market. I'll read the book several times just to pass the time. And then we'll see you there. I do apologise if this has been a little bit dull. I was expecting time to pass a little bit quicker. And maybe more interesting conversations to be had with people that we wouldn't normally talk to. But hey ho, such is the way of life. I shall see you very shortly. Oh no! Never mind! We can make prank calls for the rest of the day. Brilliant. Oh, fantastic.
You pick up the handset. There's a tone. The machine is operable.
Here we go.
Calling.
I'm tired.
A man answers, fast this time. His voice is hoarse from cigarettes. You hear typing in the background.
Sounds like he hasn't talked to anyone in quite a while.
I'm tired too.
If I could go just 1 month without Raiden. No, 2 months. I could regenerate my brain. Fucking liberalism.
The man disappears with a sigh. You do not hear the customary disconnect tone, just silence in the handset. The machine is still waiting for you to dial a number. Seems like it did not have time to swallow the coin. This sometimes happens. Lucky you. The call went too fast for the payphone to register. You can still make a new one without paying.
Okay, dial a random number with your eyes closed.
You close your eyes and put your index finger on the rotary dial. Then pull down on the number. Then move one up. And repeat the motion. Twice. Strange. This is not how you started before.
Keep dialing.
414447. The rotary dial feels cold from the sea air.
Keep dialing.
1117361. Your fingers keep moving like a spider. Every time the ring rotates back with a little ring of metal, like a bell tolling.
There's more?
Yes. 451-67451. You are going deeper now, into some unknown place, far away from this island of matter and its telecommunication networks.
Finish it.
451. You have dialed God knows how many numbers. The headset has been waiting silently to relay a signal. Surely nothing can come of this, you think. But it does. A connection. An ultra-long distance call. Your air fills with a crackle, the wash of a strange ocean full of white noise. A little bird starts ringing in there, not like the local calling tone before. No, a small ring in a cage of distortion, far away. A distant network of phones, calling in the night. The saddest sound in the world. Calling still. The handset starts slipping from your sweaty palm. Your breathing is heavy.
Let it call more.
Calling still. Then the ocean breaks. Out of the depths, a woman's voice emerges. Small. The dearest thing you've ever heard.
Hello?
Oh gosh. This is... Oh, hand on her heart now. Hello? She hums, her voice warm from sleep.
Who is this?
Who is this?
Dora. Who is this? The connection is bad.
Dora. The name feels like a gift. A gift that was meant for you, to make it possible to live and fight. In the distorted distance, you hear someone turning next to her. Bed springs rattle.
Oh no, that's... This is going to be bad. Don't react, stay cool.
It doesn't matter if you react or not. You still think you hear a man's voice in the background. It's covered in pain and white noise.
Oh gosh, I don't want to say this, it's the only one that gives us the option to proceed. Everything else is awful. Let's go if your voice is so beautiful.
No. It's you, isn't it? It's you.
Oh, shit. Fine, I can't tell you who I am. I have a secret plan to win mankind 3,000 years of peace on this planet. I have to be very ominously vague. It's the only way that we can proceed. Why is that the only thing we can say to proceed? What's wrong with us? Well, I suppose that is the only thing this game's about, isn't it? It's finding out what's wrong with us. Let's proceed.
You're not ominous, Harry. You're drunk.
We're not drunk.
You only have 2, maybe 3 things left to say before the change runs out.
Okay. I'm not drunk or high, I'm just hurt. Why does it hurt to talk to you? There's silence. It's heavy as tin. The white noise howls. Oh gosh. Hey!
Do you know what time it is? It's so late here.
She sounds like she's looking at from a clock on the nightstand.
It's 4 o'clock, Harry. I need to wake up in 2 hours.
Okay, Oh, I don't want to ask this question, but I feel like I need to. I feel like I need to know what's going on. You never ever, if you've broken up with someone and they've moved on, and you haven't, you never get back in contact with them. Under any circumstances. As from one old man to a young man, if you're a young man watching this, never ever do it. But for thematic reasons, we're going to do it just to see what happens. So is there someone there with you?
Yes.
Ah, that's even worse. Yes, and she doesn't explain anything. Where are you? You sound like you're in another world.
I'm in my rover, sleeping.
Ah. Where are you going in 2 hours?
To work.
Where?
The academy, where I work.
Ah. The academy, that sounds better than my job. I'm happy.
No response, only a sigh. The connection crackles like burning paper.
Ah, let's take some happy pills. I want to talk about me. Who am I? You sound like you know me.
What do you want to talk about that we haven't talked about already?
This is bad. You feel your right hand on the handset cramping up with pain.
Ah, well, I don't want to threaten her with a heart attack. I don't want to be... There's nothing good to say, is there? Let's just hang up.
Your hand isn't moving. The headset hisses in your ear with evil sadness.
Shit, we can't hang up. We've got to pick something. My heart hurts. I'm going to have a heart attack.
Oh no, please stop. Please, let's just hang up.
I want to.
Your hand isn't moving.
Ah,
the
no.
headset hisses in your ear with evil sadness.
So we've basically just got to say all the things. This is cringe. I'm the law. I'm a detective. I'm doing a case. There's a hanged man.
She does not answer anymore.
I'm gonna solve it.
Harry.
Disconnect tone. The machine ran out of money.
Thank God for that. No, let's not call again. That was awful. That was an awful situation. It was sad and embarrassing for everyone in that situation. I'm not going to say if I've ever been in a similar situation before. Cannot possibly confirm or deny. But... yeah, okay, moving swiftly on. How much time do I have left on my schedule? I've got 25 minutes, according to my timer, so I will see you after I've read the book several times. Okay, and we have returned. It's 10 past 10, so I assume people will still be knocking around. Old Fish Market. Shit, where... have we gone to the right place? Church. Ah, no. Gone to the wrong place. Am I not a smart man? Yeah, just walk past the fishing village until you see the boardwalk. Oh gosh, this is... I'm geographically challenged. So the boardwalk, they say. Walk past the village. Right, let's retrace our steps. I don't know if you've ever been lost in a city that you're unfamiliar with. Ooh, a blue thing. What was that blue thing? Come on, let me have it. The water runs to the west. The source is upstream. A broken pipe? I need not a broken pipe. I need my gun. Right, so we've found the village. Just to confirm, yes. You must meet near the Old Fish Market at 10 o'clock. Get your service weapon. Walk right past the fishing village until you see the boardwalk. Okay, so the fishing village is here. We shall walk past it. Oh, did he mean the boardwalk is in the place where we saw that dead man? Which was... Was it this way? Oh, no, you're there. You're big shiny, aren't you? Were we just too close when we started reading our book that she just didn't bother turning up?
Put your hands where I can see them.
The aging woman under a mountain of police paraphernalia mumbles to herself, then notices you and reaches for the megaphone.
Show me your hands. This is the pigs. Show me your hands. Right now! Show me your hands! Right now!
God, this is very bizarre.
Scavenged, battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. The flickering light show reveals a gun in her shaking hand. Her hand is trembling from some sort of neurodegenerative disease.
Madame, please drop the firearm immediately.
Kim, your aim's terrible. You need to at least clean your glasses. You're nowhere near her. Let's be... easy, ma'am. Take it easy.
Failure to comply. Suspect is displaying aggression. Officer, under duress! Officer, under duress! I am the police. Don't move. Don't move. Hands on your head. Suspect is armed and dangerous.
Oh, well, God, it's just very Nurgle-esque, isn't it? Boggles my brain. Anyway, I'm not moving.
Suspect is on the loose. Suspect at large. Officer, administer street justice at our own peril. That one extra lick with a baton or extra knee strike above was what was actually required. Suspect is under control. Suspect is under control.
Be careful, detective. Don't do anything that might set her off.
Oh, for middle time to get my gun. No, let's not. We can resolve this peacefully. Please lower your weapon.
Officer in need of assistance! Suspect at large! Get on the ground!
Ma'am, please. We want to help you, but you need to lower that weapon.
Blow away, Lieutenant. No. Let's just talk, alright?
Disturbance reported. Authorized deadly force. Sector, take the shot! Big red key! Big red key!
Please identify yourself, ma'am.
It's the goddamn police shitbag! Hug the pavement! You're under arrest!
As she waves her hands, you notice familiar-looking ampoules and packets sticking out of the mountain of police gear on her back. Medicine or drugs?
Are you on drugs?
Confiscated contraband. Restricted access. 2 kilos missing. Eyewitness report compromised.
I don't think she's on drugs. Being off drugs might actually be the problem here.
You're not the police. We are the police.
Back up! Back up! Back up! Status unconfirmed!
Yes, I am the backup. Resist yawn. Here to back you up. Oh, actually, no. We'll do... This sounds more official. Lieutenant W. Freighter Harry Dubois, 41st Precinct. This is my partner, Kim Kitsaragi from the 57th.
No. I thought Mr. Moran... Gareth! Aggravated assault! Man down! Officers in pursuit!
There's a scenario unfolding in her head right now. It has nothing to do with what's happening here.
Oh, is she suffering from some sort of PTSD-esque flashback? Well, no, it's not. The flashback is probably like the worst term for that kind of thing, but yeah, sort of like reliving some drama.
What's the situation, officer?
Law enforcement compromised! Impersonating a police officer!
Does she not believe you two are actually police officers?
We really are cops. Look at my badge. Take out your badge and show it to her.
License and registration! License and registration! Come in, dispatch! Sector! Azimuth!
It's not a code, just disjointed words.
Okay, right, well, if she just stays there briefly... I don't like my chances with 28%. And we need hand-eye coordination. Let's deal with this later.
We can't leave. A delirious civilian is pointing a firearm at us. Your firearm. You need to solve this.
Well, bugger. This is not going to end well, is it? Can I not level up in this trying time? I've got no points. Spent it all on trying to listen to that bloody silence. Well, shit, they're formidable. Time to get my gun.
She's frantic, confused, teetering under all that gear. There's an opening if you just move fast enough. If not, the lieutenant's got her in his sights. Host almighty, don't count on that. You saw the Binoclad can't shoot for shit.
Well, we've identified that that is not a nice term. Oh, we are the sorry officer. No, I know myself. I know I'm going to fail.
Sure, you're you. But how do we end this? She's not just gonna let you leave.
No gun is worth the risk. The gun... If we back away, she might shoot us. If we go for it, she might shoot us. Fuck it, we'll go for it.
Suicide by cop. Split-second decision. Eat lead, scumbag.
Oh my god.
God, I almost blew her head off.
Oh, she fired, but it's got no bullets in it.
What is this? This isn't police issue. Police weapons have bullets. This isn't real. Police guns always have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me this?
Grab the gun, right now. This might be your only chance.
Pick up the gun.
No one ever cares anymore. Why would they treat me like this?
Poor woman. We need to figure out what to do with her now.
Nobody's ever around. Nobody ever comes to visit me.
Oh, bless her. I'm very sorry this is how life turned out for you. Gently touch her shoulder.
Her scratched skin is warm to the touch, but the person inside doesn't even know you're there.
What do you think is happening to her?
She's in a stupor. I've seen this before. God knows for how long. Could be days when they get like this.
But why was she like this in the first place?
Honestly, I don't know. Dementia, probably. Dementia and Channel 8 and loneliness.
That's sad. God, that's a hard word to say. Neurodegenerative disease.
Could be. Her hands were trembling and she did seem uncoordinated. But what are we gonna do with her?
Should we just arrest her?
I don't think there's any need for that. In her current state, and without the gun, she isn't really a threat to anyone. We could let Titus know. This is a perfect problem for the local peacekeepers to handle. They might even know her family.
Yeah, Titus sounds like a man for the job.
Then we can ask him once we get back to the whirling. But we have to hurry, because it's late and they might have already gone home. But I think we're done here for now. Let's head out.
Please, leave the radio on.
She mutters. It seems like a reflex, a half-remembered sentence.
Reflex to what? Being left alone. She stands motionless. Just a heap of clothes and fleshes now. Maybe if you search her once more.
Okay, let's give her a brief search.
The woman stands slumped. She looks catatonic under her mountain of RCM paraphernalia. Is one of those things a police cap? There were narcotics in there too. You're thinking of taking them? Do.
Let's pick up the RCM cap.
She doesn't even flinch as you reach out and disentangle the familiar-looking lieutenant's cap from her mountain of RCM paraphernalia.
Oh, is that yours?
It's hard to say. It's been so long since you wore yours.
Maybe, probably. You know me.
It's your hat.
Fantastic. Shake her shoulder.
The old woman doesn't react to your touch.
Well, we're not going to take any drugs from her, because we're not... Unless... No, we'll leave her with her drugs, because they might actually be medicine for her. But we now have a police hat. Yeah, look at that. We've put our police jacket back on. Look at us, we're looking semi-professional. This is good stuff. Right, okay, I'm going to have to leave that there for today. I have a busy day ahead of me, and all the usual. But if you liked the video, consider having a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month does get you one extra Dawn of War game a week. Mine's been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure as always and never a chore. I will see you in a bit. Peace.